What's poppin', my J dolls, and I'm back with another video. Before we get in this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and ring that bell. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so don't play with us because we are not one of them, okay? And if you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It is free 99. And if you still don't subscribe, you a hater. Tell it with your mama, because why she raised you like that? Period. So today, y'all, I decided to come to y'all with a car conversation and tell you guys about how I am quitting my 9-to-5 job. How I'm quitting my 9-to-5 job with no backup plan because of my mental health and just choosing myself in general. And I want to talk to you guys about this because I see a lot of videos about this. I've done some videos about 9-to-5s. A lot of them. I've done this before too, y'all. I've quit my job before without a job. Was it easy? No. Did I survive? Yes. And you can go watch that other video if you want to know how that went. So I'm going to tell you guys about my situation now. So I noticed, y'all, with 9-to-5s, mind you, why did I start like this? Crazy. I before used to work in retail management for a very, very long time. And then that started to literally cause me a lot of mental stress and physical stress, but more on the physical stress. And so the last time that I've done this and I quit my 9-to-5, it was literally a job I was super unhappy with. And it wasn't even the job that I had to do, it was also the boss was super, super terrible. So, that's why I quit that job. And you can go watch that video if you want to go see it. I'm going to try to put it at the end of this video. But anyhow, that was years ago. That was probably almost now 3 years ago that I had done this same thing. So I was in retail management for a long time, and then now, you guys, I'm actually in corporate. So this is a very interesting thing because I always wanted to be in corporate so bad. Like, I thought, like, okay, I went to school, just so you have a little background on me. Like, my undergrad, my bachelor's degree is in fashion merchandising, with a minor in business. And then I went back to school for my master's in business administration, with a concentration on integrative marketing and communications. So when I went back to school for business, I was thinking on the mindset of, oh my gosh, I want a corporate job. I've been stuck in retail because once I graduated from my fashion merchandising program, I got recruited automatically for an assistant store manager position, and the pay was good, and I got stuck because the pay kept going up as I went to different companies. Anyhow, I felt stuck. I felt like I would never get a corporate job. I wanted a corporate job so bad. I ended up getting a corporate job. And the way I got a corporate job is I was at my retail job, and I was assistant manager there. And I was big on sales. I had to sell stuff, y'all. I used to work, I think I could say this, Athleta, because I've said this in other videos, because I really love Athleta. Like, we were like a family there. So I used to work at Athleta, and then I ended up meeting the VP for the company that I work for. I'm not going to say where I work now, but I met the VP there. And I was pretty much like getting her to buy a bunch of stuff, upselling her, getting her to sign up for the credit card. Mind you, I didn't know who she was. But I was just doing my job because, A, I need to hit my sales. I'm really good at sales. And I need to hit my credit card goals because I'm one of the top credit card sellers, right? So at this point, I'm just doing my job, what I'm supposed to be doing. And she thought that, I should work for her company. And she told me the name of the company, which was interesting. It's a big company, big corporation I do work for. But anyhow, we got in touch and stuff like that, and I ended up getting a job, which I'm gonna make a whole nother video about that. If you guys want a video on that, I'm being the diversity hire, because that's a really good topic to talk about at this time, especially with the DEI projects and all this stuff. DEI projects, being a diversity hire is probably one of the worst things to be, but we'll talk about that at a different time. Anyhow, I get hired here. It started off good. I really liked working here, especially coming from retail to a corporate 9-to-5, Monday through Friday, office life, you know what I mean, hybrid life, because I get to work from home and go into the office. So it was really nice being able to call off sick when you actually are sick, because retail, you can't just call off sick because you're probably opening or closing the store. So it's very hard to actually get sick time off. So at this point, I really, really like this job. The thing about at my job, I was a floater, which I still am, y'all. I literally still have my job. My job doesn't even know yet that I'm quitting. They probably have a feeling, but they don't know. So anyways, y'all, what happened was when I first started, I learned a bunch of different things. They found out I was a quick learner. You guys, I've always been a quick learner. I think that's one big thing about being in retail management. You have to learn quick and you need to know how to problem solve or you will just not make it. So I was really good at attaching onto systems and all this stuff, even in this brand new environment. And so, long story short, I started learning jobs so quick that they started saying, oh, we're going to actually make you a floater where you literally learn different jobs and then you'll train people and then you'll go into the next job as people get laid off practically. That's what I was doing. And at first it was cool. I love switching and changing positions. I don't mind that because I love change because I hate being stagnant. I get bored very easily and that makes me want to quit a job. So I wasn't mad about that at all, but it started to get to the point where they were starting to give me too many tasks and expect even more out of me. Like I would be doing like so much work and then they'll still be like, do you have any capacity for anything else? Doesn't look like I have capacity for anything else. These are my jobs. I literally emailed them too, like, these are my jobs, because the management doesn't even know my jobs, right? They don't know how to perform my jobs. They don't know when my jobs start. They just don't know. So anyhow, I emailed them the times that I start this thing, I start this project, da 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 da. So y'all can see I don't have capacity for shit. I barely got capacity for this because we have so many things. Everything's being done on time, but we still have so many things that need to be done. And so instead of this company really wanting to hire people, they want people to do more work. Let's be honest. And when I first got this position, I was very grateful, super happy. Like I said, I never had a corporate job. Mind you, I just got my master's degree like almost 3 years ago. So, for pay, didn't really push for pay that much. My salary, it paid me more than my last position. So I said, okay, this is fair enough because I need experience. And my the VP of my department told me that there was a very tight budget. So I said, okay, I will utilize this at least just to get my experience and maybe get promoted, maybe. As I thought I was going to be promoted and really do things in this company, I started to realize everybody that was promoted looked very depressed. They didn't know what they were doing. And it's always a mess and nobody's trained. So it started to make my job very overwhelming. Even talking about this gives me anxiety because that's how bad and overwhelming this job got. So, and it's crazy because I came from a physical job as an assistant or a manager that was also stressful. But when it comes to like, when you're in corporate, it's a different type of stress. It's like a mental stress that will literally make you depressed and anxious and like hate your life, like literally wonder why you're living. Like that is literally what corporate would do to you because you're constantly looking at the same things over and over and again. You're constantly, when you're in a department that the people are not trained, you're constantly having to fix people's mistakes on top of your own personal job. You're constantly being like pushed to practically be a manager when you're not a manager. And this is coming from somebody that used to be a manager. So I started to feel overwhelmed because for me personally, if I feel like I can do your job better than you, I'm not going to last there for long because I already feel like I know more than you. I can't rely on you. You can't grow me. There's nothing here. So as time started going on, I got a very stressful position. Like as I told you, I kept switching. I probably did 7 different positions in a year. I've only been at this company for a year, okay? So anyways, once I get to this final position that I am technically in right now, literally I realized I had to be on a time crunch. All my other jobs was like, you got to get it done by end of day, or you got to get it by this time, whatever. It was like one solid time. But then I got a new position where it's like so many different time frames you got to remember all day. You got to hit the certain time frames or it's messed up. Like you can't play with this. Like I can't really go into details so you'll know like the full industry. Like people probably can find it, but like I just don't want to put it on here. But anyway, so long story short, it started getting chaotic because when it's time for me to get stuff done, people were making mistakes. And imagine being in a short time frame of like, you got to get stuff done in 20 minutes. and then you realize people literally made like 5 mistakes, and you have to figure out what's not balancing. You got 20 minutes to figure out what's not balancing, get it correct, get it through the system so that it doesn't be a disaster. And imagine that happening almost every day because people are not trained. So not only do you have the stress of doing all your jobs, but you also have the stress of correcting all these things in a short amount of time. I don't mind correcting, but we have a short time frame, and we're doing this often, and we have to find the issues. And if we're late, it won't happen. Whatever I do won't happen if we're late, and that will be very bad. That's what I was just saying. It's a very stressful position. So the position was stressful. The fact that the people are not trained was stressful. The fact that my salary is not even enough to sustain my life. Like, it's enough to pay my bills and like to have a little left over. But it's not enough for me to live a good life. Like, it's not enough for me to get my hair done, my nails done, travel often, live an abundant life. It's not that. And I have 2 degrees. I have a master's degree. And I had this conversation with my boss before about how I don't feel like I'm getting paid enough, and I'm doing all these jobs, and I'm training people. I'm practically doing management work. And if I was to look at my specific job and look it up, it would be a 6-figure job. So for me, it is disheartening because I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, right? So I have this conversation with her, and that conversation does not go well because in a sense, she feels like I'm getting paid for what I'm doing in this position, and she knows that I can do more, and she wants me to be promoted. I just need to work even longer hours to be promoted. So working multiple jobs, taking on people's jobs, helping people and training people is not enough. I have to also stay in the office super late to prove myself so I can get the promotion she thinks I deserve. Which I never said I wanted to be promoted. I said I wanted a salary that actually matches the work that I do. Okay? So I had to start to realize that she didn't care about me. The company didn't care about me. The fact that my granddad had passed away, and I told her that this was something that was happening to me, like my granddad passed away, and you guys switched my job last minute. I had to train a whole team. Like, you guys didn't know. It was disorganized. So it was a lot of stress because they are disorganized. They're uneducated. They don't know what they're doing. Let's be clear. Every person in the level of management doesn't even know how to do their job effectively. And as somebody that's been a manager majority of my life, since I was 18, I can tell you, I don't know how any of them got their jobs. And I'm not here to just bash them. I'm not putting the name of the company or nothing, but I'm just saying that, and it's not really the company, it's the department that I am in the company. So it just showed me that they're not educated. They don't care about me. All they care about is how much capacity they can get out of me. Did they give me anything when my granddad passed away? No. Did they even tell me that they were sorry for my loss? No. Did they get us anything for Christmas? No. This year we got nothing for Christmas. Last year they gave us a pair of male socks that I ended up giving to my ex. And this is a multi-billion-dollar company. They have money. Okay? Let's make it clear. So they do not care about their employees. They do not care about my mental health. When I told them about my granddad and these things that were happening to me, they instead wants me to be like bubbly and talking to everybody in the workplace. If you also go look at my other videos, you will understand that I've had trauma at work. So there's a lot of things that are affecting my mental health here. But I had drama at work between 2 coworkers that I work with. I'm not going to say their names. But by the time I put this video up, I will probably have my 2 weeks notice in. And if I don't, it's going in anyway. So I don't give a flying fuck. Okay? But I'm not going to say the people's names. But there was drama at work where one coworker literally went to my boss and told her that I had submitted something late, which was a mistake, which is the same day we had a whole fiasco with things going out late because somebody made a mistake and nobody knew how to fix it. Like, the managers didn't know, nobody knew. So I'm brand new at this job, mind you. I just started this specific part of the job because somebody else got laid off. I learned her job. It's very new. She's not even there to help me, right? So also she never prepared me of like, these are the type of mistakes that happen. I'm the type of trainer, because I have been a manager since I was 18, to tell you, hey, these are the possible things that can happen on this job. So be prepared for these things that possibly come up, and this is how you handle it. Right? So anyhow, that doesn't happen here ever. Like when a problem comes up, I have to try to figure out, and mostly likely my direct manager usually doesn't have the answer. So we got to that point. We had to put some stuff through. It went out late, which was really, really bad. It was really, really bad. I had to stay really, really late. A lot of people had to stay really late because my job is very, very important. Okay? And if it doesn't get done on a timely manner, it messes everything up. So anyhow, during the midst of this, I must have missed something on one of the other processes that I put through. That's a whole different thing from the mistake that happened. And I seen it the next morning because we get a report. So I said, oh, okay, something's not balanced on the report. So let me go figure it out. Figured it out, put it through. Everything was good because I just put it through. Next day, it was already the next day. So it was nothing I could do anyways. It's not like I can go back to tomorrow and do it. So anyhow, I knew that my coworker had went back, and which is my friend. Mind you, these two coworkers is my friends, right? So I knew she had went back and told my boss this. Did I tell her that, oh, I knew you went back to tell my boss this? No, I didn't. I still kept going to lunch with them, even though my intuition told me she told her. I didn't have solid facts, but when I did talk to her about it, because she wanted to message me a few months after this whole situation of me telling them I don't want to hang out with them or go to lunch with them anymore, she told me that, hey, I didn't say anything to the boss about your possible move. I didn't say anything about any of these type of things. I just want you to know. And I told her, I know you didn't say anything about it. I know, though, that you went back and told her that I made this mistake. Which is so crazy, because before we went to lunch that day, she had told me, or during lunch, my coworker had told me, oh, you should tell the boss or whatever day you put this through late. And I was like, well, it's no reason for me to tell her because I already put it through. It's already today. She's going to get the report. She's going to see it on the report. Like, all the managers get the report. So I don't feel like I need to. And then she kept pushing me like, oh, no, I feel like you should. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not going to. So that's how I knew she was the one to go back and tell her. And then my boss slipped up and was like, oh, just let me know next time so somebody else won't have to tell me. So I wouldn't see the report. So I knew somebody told her. Because my boss, she don't mean to be messy, but she's messy because she don't like confrontation. So she don't like to, this is not my boss anymore, mind you. But anyhow, she don't like confrontation, so she's just trying to find a way to tell me something, even though she doesn't really want to address it, if that makes any sense. And I know that because me personally, I've been, like I said, a manager since I was 18, so I know how to handle conflict. I know how to tell people, like, you're on the verge of being fired. But in a nice, like, I know how to say it in a way that people actually better their performance, to be honest. So I'm really good at handling conflict in the workplace, okay? But I knew that this boss was not good at conflict. She didn't even want to have this conversation with me. She just did it because she knew that somebody told her. So anyhow, when I told my coworker ex-friend this, she did not deny it. She didn't deny it. So my intuition is very strong. I see through people. Like, if y'all don't know, I'm a reader. So my intuition is very high and very strong. Now with the other coworker, he was messy. And I feel like he was going back and telling my boss some things that I may have some plans to want to move and do other things. And I won't say I'm for sure about that, but either way, I just feel like their messy energy couldn't be around me. Their messy energy could not be around me. I couldn't surround myself around negative, fake people. And they're both fake as fuck. I'm sorry. They're both fake, and they still hang out with each other and laugh in each other's face. When indeed she doesn't like him, and she's told me she doesn't like him. And I'm trying to be of good energy, and like, I used to be petty and would air people out for real. Because if I put on this internet what he do and who he was, the thing is, I could have got him fired. As soon as this situation happened, when my boss was like, even talking to me in general, I could have got him fired. But I'm not that type of person. I'm not here to do God's work. I'm not here to sit here and try to be malicious or give out energy just because other people have that energy in them. I've learned a long time ago that doesn't work. So with all that being said, the work environment is very toxic and messy. People talk about each other. People are being fake with each other. This is corporate. Grown ass, old ass motherfucking people. Grown ass, old ass white people. At this, like, there's a few minorities, but I'm just saying, like, the most messiest people, you're too grown. Like, we're not 18, we're not 21. Like, all of us are 25 plus. So to me, it is too messy. Even my boss has come back to me to tell me something about one of the employees. My VP, actually, not my boss. My VP has told me things about a person because the person stole my seat. And the person that stole my seat at the office went around bragging that he was going to steal my seat. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, it's petty energy in this place. It's very dark energy in the place. Everybody looks depressed. Everybody looks like they're ready to jump off a bridge. Especially the managers. And the only thing that they manage is phone calls. I've never seen them as a manager. Never helped me grow. Never helped me with knowledge. They always send me somebody else when I have a question. Never learned anything from them. Now, my new manager, I do have a new manager now. He's way better. And I feel bad that he has to get this side of me now, because once I get to a place where I'm overly overwhelmed or very anxious, which even talking about this place gets me back to an anxious place, stressful place, and that's what I had to notice, is once I get there, I cannot do the job. Like, I'll do the job. Like, I'm really good at my job. I excel at the job, right? Which is why I never get fired, never got rolled up or nothing. But the thing is my attitude is like, what the fuck you want? Why is you talking to me? You don't know shit. Like, I'm not going to say that like that. Of course, it's a professional setting. But I get to the mindset of like, you can't tell me nothing because you don't know nothing. I don't care. Like, I get it. I don't care attitude. And when I had talked to my boss about this and like how I was feeling, also I felt taken advantage of. I'm not even getting paid a livable wage. I mean, to some people, it is livable. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. I am middle class. But middle class is the new broke. I don't care what nobody say. I don't want to be middle class. I want to be upper class. I have 2 degrees. I have a business mindset. I am a hard worker. I am a fast learner. And I'm not going to settle for less at all. And I had to learn that she seen me as a person like, okay, she's a retail manager here. She's going to take this job. She has the education. Let me pay her less. Let me actually pay a lot of these people less so that I can hit my budgets for the year. But she's used to dealing with idiots and not someone as smart as me. So for me, once I started seeing these patterns, it was like really, how do you say that? Like, paralyzing me. You know when you feel like anxious, like shaky, like you don't want to go into the office, people weird, you don't want to talk to people because you know they're all fucking fake. When you are such a real authentic person and an intuitive person, it's very hard to be around fake people. It's really hard to be around people and try to say hi to people you know are talking about you or doing weird things to you in the workplace, practically trying to get you fired because they're trying to throw you under the bus for any small little thing. And I remember, like, my old ex-coworker, ex-friend, I guess, soon to be ex-coworker, he said, oh, when you leave, I'm going to take your job. I'm like, okay, sure, have it. If I leave it, it ain't mine. If I give it to you, ho, you can have it. Like, I just really, like, he to me gives me bottom of the barrel, bitch. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but they done got me there. And once I get there like that, I cannot be around people like that. Like, once you get me out of my element of just being my personal self, my calm self, and you make me feel like my nervous system is activated when I go into places because you're competing against me, because you want to be me, because you, like, I just can't do that. I've been doing that my whole life. People want to destiny swap with me so fucking bad, and I don't know why. Are you built for this shit? Can you get it out the mud? Because if you want to be me, bitch, oh, you're going to go through some hell, bitch, to get there. So I had to learn that even with the female ex-friend, co-worker, that I got the job there. Mind you, the one that went and snitched on me, I got her the job at my job. But mind you, the way she got the job is she was being sneaky and did something behind my back when I told her, hey, I'm going to take care of it. When I get there, I will get you a job. She didn't fully trust that. She wanted to bring it into her own hands. But did I say, oh, since she wants to do that, let me tell my VP not to hire her? No. I said, I'm going to let go like God. The last job I worked with this ex-coworker at, we worked at a last job together, the female. I felt like she was lazy. Okay? We were not that close. We were okay, or we were like acquaintances. When we got to this job, my VP asked me, hey, is this girl worth interviewing? I could have said, no, she's not. She's lazy. At the last job, she just did the bare minimum. No, I didn't. Because I am a girl's girl. I try to uplift people. If I can get opportunity, I want to put other people on. But then when I do that, I get taken advantage of. Like this. And you try to throw me under the bus. And be fake and phony. And there's so many things that she did as fake and phony I'm not going to go into. But the environment stresses me out. The people stresses me out. The job now stresses me out because it's unorganized. They don't train people. The VP says, oh, I know that training is one of the things we get the worst on the survey, and we're working on it. How are you working on it? Because y'all keep having people that don't even fully know the job train people on the job. And throwing them into it in a week or a couple days. There's a guy, y'all, mind you, I'm on leave. I am on leave right now because of how bad my anxiety and my depression was starting to get. And I realized I didn't ever want to be in that place again. Because I've had a job before, like the last one I quit, without a backup plan. I was so sad. I would cry. I would cry at work. My boss would make me cry. He was racist as fuck, okay? Even though he was Asian, he was racist as fuck and a Trump supporter. But that's neither here nor there. But I think he was adopted. So that might be how that came into play. But anyways, this man tried to take my ass through the ringer. And then at the end, he needed me. He needed me because I said, you know what? I'm quitting. They tried to keep me there because the district manager at that job really, really liked me. Because we had a new one, a female. The male was on my boss's side. Mind you, this is old. But the female really liked me. And so then that got me on the better side of that boss. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. You made me cry. You yelled at me. You told me this. You practically made me feel like I was not going to have this job. I might get fired or whatever. For the stupidest shit. I could do a story time about that. But you try to bring me down and break me down. And then when you realize your new boss was uplifting me, saying how we had the best looking store and how then you started not taking me for granted. And then when I quit, and it was a chain effect, and every other manager started quitting, and there was no managers left, it left that man with no choice but to quit. Because he would never survive. He could not hold that store up by himself. He didn't even know how to work the registers. Okay? So, when this had happened to me, he made me cry several times, and I still didn't leave that job. I didn't leave that job until I was just like, you know what? I'm tired. Shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I'm tired. Let me go. I didn't leave when he was yelling at me and telling me that I'm gonna have to get myself together or I might not have a job. Did I say, okay, fuck this job, I quit today? No, I sat there out of fear. I sat there out of desperation. And I told myself that I would never do that again. I would never let a boss talk to me like that again. I will never stick at a job like that again. And that makes me want to cry because we should never have such a scarcity mindset where we literally let our bosses degrade us and bring us down. And my current boss told me in our meeting, practically I was trying to get accommodation to possibly work from home. That rang through the ringer and they denied it, which is what it is. The boss ended up telling me, oh, if you're unhappy, the VP, if you're unhappy here I've seen this when people are unhappy, you can find a different job. And I told her, I was like, I know I can find a different job. I don't need you to tell me that. Like, I don't need you to tell me that. I can find it. I know that. Like, I know that. So at that point, I knew that I wouldn't be here for long. When we had this conversation, but then she tried to flip it of like she wants me to be promoted and blah blah blah. And she sees more like she's trying to force her vision on me so she can keep taking advantage of me. And she told me that it was offensive to my boss that I told, because the VP is above my boss, that I told my boss that I could get a job for the same title as myself for $100,000 a year plus. She said it was offensive because my boss wasn't making $100,000 a year. And I said, well, that's not my problem. Because she's also lowballed my boss. There's no way the manager should not be making 6 figures. You know what I mean? Because I'm close. I'm not close to 6 figures, but I'm close. So if the manager's not making that, that is a concern to me. But I get why she's not, because she's not qualified for the job. You want to put people that are not qualified for jobs so that you can work them to death and pay them less so you can get a bigger bonus. I'm not dumb. And I won't stand for it. I won't stand for it. I won't stand to work for stupid people. I won't stand to work in environments because I'm scared that I can't pay my bills, or I'm scared I can't make money. Because when you break down this money situation and you think of middle class and you break it down to the sense of like, how much money am I making? How much federal taxes are they taking out? How much state tax are they taking out? How much are you going to have to pay for insurance? How much are you going to pay for dental? How much are you putting towards 401k? When you break down these numbers, you're not getting paid shit every 2 weeks. And if you break down what you're getting paid every 2 weeks and you break that down to 5 days a week, and look at how much you're really making after you're paying all these things, you can go get a regular job and make that same amount of money. Or you can drive Uber and Lyft and make more money than that because it's not taxed. And I know people, oh, you're going to have to pay taxes back at the end of the year. If you don't know what you're doing and you haven't really accurately ran a business, because driving Uber or Lyft is like running a business, contract work, you don't know shit about write-offs, you don't know shit about depreciation of a vehicle. Do your research, because I've had it before and I've done Lyft full time before and I've got a tax return back. Okay? Working this job, I barely get a tax return back. I'm just telling you, I'm speaking the truth, and I'm tired of living in this captive mindset of like, I can't do better, I can't have better. Like, this job was for a reason. I have great experience because they worked me like a fucking runaway slave. Okay? So I've done 7 different positions in 1 year. So I can take that. If I want to go with another company, I can take that to another company and get my 6 figures plus. I have the education. Now I have the experience. I know I'm fast at learning. I know I'm an asset to every team, any team. So I learned that I will not let someone disrespect me, make me feel anxious, make me feel sad at work. I've cried in the bathroom at work. I also went to work when my granddad passed away. The next day, the day that I found out I went to work, I found out that morning, went to work, and I was messaging my boss like, hey, like, I think I'm going to need to take day off tomorrow because my granddad just passed away, and I'm like literally crying here at work. Like, I can't take it. And she was like, okay, you know, thank you for letting me know, but she didn't say like, oh, you could just go home now. You want to just work from home? Like, is there anything we can help you with? Like, is there nothing? They don't give a fuck about me. And that's what I learned about. They don't give a fuck about me. And if I'm not acting like a happy robot, like, hi guys, so what you did this weekend? When I don't give a flying fuck what you did this week. I don't care what you did last weekend. I don't care. Like, my boss would want me to go to the mall with her. I don't care to go to the mall with you. I don't care to go to dinner with you. I don't care to go get coffee with you. I don't care to do shit with you guys. And I have learned that corporate world, you have to build relationships with people and these fake friendships for you to move to the top. It's not about how good you are as a worker. It's about how good your relationship is with your VP, your boss. I'm telling you, I know I could have been promoted in the beginning, for sure. I know still, if I was to be like, okay, I'm going to buckle my shoes down, and I'm going to stay late, and I'm going to, whatever, I could get promoted. I know. I have that relationship. I have the work ethic. They see what I can do. But I cannot be fake. It's not in me. For money, no. And then you want me to kill myself before I even get the money. So I got to work extra hard before I even get the money to prove that I actually get the money. It's crazy to me. So what is my plan? I have no plan. And it's crazy. It's nuts. I feel at peace. Almost too much at peace. Like, I haven't been working because I'm on leave. Mind you, I do get paid. Like, I've worked. I literally just only been on leave for a week. And I had to use PTO for my first week. So, yeah. So, I'm getting paid my full amount right now. And I'm on medical leave. So, I do get a percentage. Because all of my mental health has been documented. So, by my health professional and my doctor. So, yeah. But that's not for long. So, I am rethinking my life because I don't know if this job specifically is scarring me, or I think this job is specifically scarring me for all the drama and all the messy shit. I've never had to deal with something like this in a workplace, like as messy as this. Like, I've had a bad boss situation, but messiness like this is just terrible. But anyways, y'all, I don't really know what I'm doing next. I'm moving to a whole nother state. I know a lot of people will get fearful and be like, oh, I'm not moving no more. Like, like, I don't have a job and I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, me, I'm like, bitch, I'm still gone. I'm still gone because this is what God had already told me to do years ago. It's been 2 years. I was supposed to make this move. It's time. I have my apartment. I've paid my deposit. And that was a whole nother, we're gonna talk about that in the moving to San Antonio video, okay? That was a whole throw in a loop type of situation, but I got through it, right? So I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. Just know that you're capable. It might take you some time. It might take you a month, 2 months, or whatever to find a job. 3 months maybe. I know the market is bad, but I had to think and realize, I have 2 degrees, please. I have 2 degrees, please. If I had to get a job, I do also like doing my own business. I have a lingerie business, you guys, called Lavish. I don't do a lot of marketing on it. I do like a pop-up shops and stuff like that. I do this Thursday. I'm going to do this stripper party. Okay, so I'm going to be there vending, making my own coin. So I have avenues to make money. And then, I do YouTube. YouTube has paid me now. I get sponsorships here and there, but it ain't nothing too much to hold me over. I'm not going to sit here and cap and lie to people on the internet. Like, you can just do this and you might do this and be on your ass. I've been there. Did I get evicted? No. Did I keep my car? Yes. And that was just by doing Lyft and Uber. Or Lyft, really. So, it's doable. And my bills is high. So, I was doing Lyft before, like 2 years ago. And I was able to pay my bills just doing Lyft. It wasn't easy. It was very hard. Especially because you got to be accountable on yourself. But yeah, you guys, I'm like in the process of selling stuff because I am moving. So I'm selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. And I realized we work all these hours for a couple hundreds or a few hundreds. When if I sell some shit on Facebook Marketplace, I'd be making like a couple hundreds in an hour. You know what I mean? And you got to work a whole day. And I think that's my whole problem with this lifestyle, because I've even had a pop-up shop before, but you got to remember with entrepreneurship or anything you're doing or selling or anything, some days you might make a lot, some days you might make nothing. You have to be prepared, and you got to learn how to manage your money, and that's something I'm trying to learn, because I've had a pop-up shop before where I made over $500 in less than 3 hours, right? And you don't even make that in a whole 8-hour shift at work. So I do know there's so many ways to make money, and we get so stuck into the same way that everybody wants us to live that we can't see past it. So I know what I want. I know I want to be a content creator and influencer. I know that I'm already doing that. I know that I'm already getting paid from it. I know that I want to be a business owner, author. I know that I'm very creative. And I also know I have 2 degrees. So I'm not going to put myself in a box or say like, oh no, I'm never going to apply for the 9 to 5. I still think I'm going to apply for a 9 to 5, which sounds weird because at first I didn't think I was. I think I was just going to do Lyft. But in my mindset, I was thinking like, for me, I can get a 9 to 5 paying 100,000 plus. Okay? Why make myself suffer in a sense of like trying to really hustle bustle until my things are working for me, until my influencing is working for me, where I really don't have to work a job. I'm starting to see the reaps of my benefits. Like, oh yeah, it's flowing, it's flowing, it's flowing. That's actually how a lot of influencers and content creators actually really fully become full-time, is when they start seeing that their fruits of their labor is coming, you know. So I don't want to have that mindset of like, oh my gosh, like I just need to put it all in, because I seen myself when I worked my job, my 9 to 5, before it started getting too mentally exhausting, that I was able to do content. I was able to do pop-up shops on the weekend too. So you're capable. So that's what I tell myself, like, if God wants me to have a job, I'll get the job. If I don't get any of the jobs that I apply for, he doesn't want me to have a job. So from there, I will figure it out. But I do know I'm capable of making a lot of money, even just off a regular job, like a 9 to 5 job, because of my experience, because of my degrees. And I do know that I'm also able to make money from my creativity. So in my mindset, if I do take a job, it is going to be temporary. It's going to be like a year thing, max. And it's going to be an exit plan. Like, hey, if I'm making $130,000 this year, this is how much I'm going to set aside. This is how much debt I'm going to pay off. And this is how much I'm going to put in my business. And once everything is panned out, that I'm living a more minimalist lifestyle, then that is when I'm like, okay, it's my plan to leave. I do not see myself forever in a 9 to 5. Because I get bored. Every job I go to, there's an issue. Like, even if it's not a big issue, it's an issue where I want to leave. It's like, I don't like being confined. But I also realize I don't really like DoorDash. I don't really like Lyft. I don't like any of this shit, to be honest. So that's why I'm trying to, like, I do like that you can make your own schedule, so you actually do get a little bit more time for your purpose and stuff like that. Or if you got to go do something, or you got to take a client or something like that, it's easier for you to do those things. But I do not like the act of doing those things either. So either way, I don't think it's going to be anything I really like doing. So I'm going to go with the flow of life. I do have a friend that's helping me with my resume and doing some things for me. So it's super nice. I'm really appreciative of her. So I am going to still apply for jobs, and I'm not taking jobs though that are not paying me over $100,000 a year. Just not going to. I don't think it's worth my time. Or at least it needs to be touching 90, but I'm saying 100. So if I can't do that, I will just keep doing my freelances, side work, Lyft, whatever. Because if I'm going to struggle or feel like, damn, I got a penny pinch, or I got to think about if I want to buy this, or I got to think about if I want to go take this trip, I might as well do the shit that I actually enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Which I don't enjoy Lyft, but I enjoy being able to have time to make my own schedule and like create and all that stuff. But I hope this makes sense to y'all. This is a long video, but with all that being said, I don't have a plan. I'm moving. Now I'm going to put it on the internet. I don't care. I am moving next month, you guys. I'm moving in about 3 weeks. So I'm moving to San Antonio, Texas. No, I don't care that I don't have a job. No, I'm not going to stay in Minnesota because I don't have a job, or just to keep this job, because I technically could keep this job. I'm on leave. So I am going to go up there and give them my 2 weeks notice in probably like a few days, probably like 3 days. I'm going to go up there, give them my 2 weeks notice, because I only have about 2.5 more weeks on my leave. Give them my 2 weeks notice and give them my laptop and just never come back. Because I'm over it. And we get to keep our monitors. So sell those monitors on Facebook Marketplace and get a coin. So yeah, that's literally what I've been doing though, and how I've been making money. Like I said, I do still have money from my 9 to 5, which is going to cover my rent. Luckily I did get the second month rent for free at my new apartment in San Antonio, Texas. So I really don't got to worry about rent for about 2 months. Once I pay my first month rent, so I'm cool with that. That's really, really good. That's a big expense cut down for at least 2 months. And then my second month, I actually get a discount on my rent. So that is good. That is at least going to help me not feel like I need a ton of money. until either I find another job or like, you know, do some of my side hustle stuff. Like I said too, I do have lingerie, so I do plan to do some pop-up shops in like the Houston area, the Dallas area, San Antonio. I'm in a big state where it's like I can just drive somewhere and make money. And Houston is a city to make money in general. Like if I needed to even be a little bottle girl, baby, we're gonna get in that field. We're gonna get in that field. So I'm not even tripping. I'm not worried. I'm just ready for change. I can no longer let these people control me with money. Let them bring me down. And these are pennies, please. They're pennies. Like, it ain't even worth the stress to me. Like, even though to some people it ain't pennies, to me it's pennies. If I'm not up here just living the lifestyle I want to live, it's pennies, you know? And one thing I want to tell you guys when we end this video here is do not sell your soul for money. And essentially, if you really hate your job's making you depressed, and all of these things, you are selling your soul for money. And when you think of celebrities and people think, when they think of money as the root of all evil, they think like just because you have a lot of money is the root of evil. No, because God wants us to have an abundant life. It's about how you use your money, how you get your money. Are you ethical? Are you just doing stuff just that are unethical just to get money? And in being in these spaces, you're doing something unethical to get money. Like you're damaging your soul. You're bringing darkness into you, because anxiety and depression is darkness. You're bringing stress onto yourself. You're damaging your body, because stress damages your actual, organs. You need to understand it's sucking the soul out of you. You're selling your soul for money. But that's also what some, some people that are like celebrities will do anything for money. Will, essentially start doing corrupt things because they want money. Abusing yourself is corrupt. And that's how I feel about it. I don't care about the job. People might think I'm crazy. It's hard to explain this to my family, really. Well, some of my family gets it because I've done this before. My family not worried about me because I've done this before. But it's hard to get people on the same page of understanding my mindset and what I'm doing. And a part of me really don't want a job at all. But a part of me is like, Juana, eventually you're going to not have a job. Eventually you're going to be a full-time entrepreneur. Eventually you're going to be a full-time content creator. It's going to happen for you. Don't push it. Don't rush it. Follow course. And you're going to figure out as you go. I don't need a plan today. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. It was great talking to y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Bye.